Hey everybody, Mr. Flavorsmith here. It's nighttime, but we're gonna do something fun. The people at Inventive Fusion reached out to me to try their grilling baskets. I'm pretty excited to try this out because I love shish kebabs, and sometimes it's kind of a pain to just the process of putting the meat on the shish kebabs and all the veggies and everything and then pulling it off. I mean, it gets tedious and it takes a lot of time. So I'm a dad of two. I'm busy. I got a lot going on. I'm hoping that this is going to make my grilling experience a little bit more pleasurable and speed things up for me. I want to get in, get out, cut things up, throw them in the baskets, put some sauce on it, and grill it. So let's get to it on our Monument Grill. All right, so there's two different sizes, and the way these come, check this out. You just unscrew these handles. These are made out of 304 stainless steel, so they're dishwasher safe. Check this out. Stick your handles in here, just like this. All right, then there's two different size baskets. This one just fits snugly inside the large basket. And there you go. So for storing it away, it's super compact. I really like this. So let's put it back together. Let's pull out the small one, close that basket. This little lid right here has a little tab right here. That's just like that. I really like this hexagon shape because I think this is going to kind of come in handy. They make them in two different variations. They make them in a hexagon shape, and they also make them in a round cylindrical shape. I think the hexagon shape is going to work really good because it's not going to be rolling around. And if you really think about it, we can just put these handles on these and they just screw in right there. Nice little wooden handle. Screw it in just like this. And then what I'm planning on doing is every couple minutes spinning it, spinning it, spinning it, spinning it, and then going back the other way. All right, the other thing is because these are 304 stainless steel, they are dishwasher safe, and I think that's going to become pretty critical because I expect these things are going to get all caked up and nasty with sauce and juices from everything. But those are the two units. They come as a set in a box, just like this. Let's give it a try. All right, tonight we're gonna do this. I've done this a million times and I love this stuff. It's Kikkoman teriyaki marinade and sauce. This stuff is great. Has a very thin viscosity to it. So, I mean, it really penetrates everything good. You don't get this super kicked on, nasty, just thick, pasty sauce that a lot of teriyaki sauces have. This just works really good. I love it. Now, it will be sticky because it is teriyaki. So I imagine it is gonna really mess this up. But let's check it out. And the beef we're using today is a top sirloin. So it's a decent piece of meat for this. Take this, we're gonna open this up. I'm gonna keep this handle on here right now, I think. And what I'm going to do, I'm not gonna worry about saucing it right now. I'm just gonna start stuffing it with a little bit. We've got a bunch of different types of bell peppers in there. So I'm gonna throw a couple of those in, throw a little bit of onion in there. I'm gonna throw a little bit of meat in there. And I'm gonna just kind of keep doing that process. I'm gonna stuff it even more. I really wanna stuff this because I know it's gonna cook down. I almost wish these baskets were a little bit bigger, but hey, that's pretty good. Okay, there's one. All right, now we have chicken. So on our other big basket, we're gonna be putting the chicken in there. Got new gloves on. I'm just gonna throw some chicken in there. What I'm trying to do is, I can do it like this. Okay, that glove, throw that in there, throw that in there. Chicken with my left hand. A little more chicken in there. Close her up. All right, that one's good. All right, and one of the smaller baskets, I'm just gonna throw these big, or I guess you could call them small, portobello mushrooms in there. Stack them in with some little ones best I can. And these will really cook down because mushrooms. There we go. All right, that one's done. All right, and last but not least, our shrimp. We have shrimp, and we're just gonna fill this bad boy all the way we can with all the shrimp we have right here. And we are not gonna do teriyaki on this one. We are gonna just do a butter garlic and we're just gonna baste. That's what we're gonna be doing. We're just gonna be basting these. So there we go. There's our shrimp. Just make sure our bases are screwed on nicely. We're gonna put that right over that burner. Put this one right here. So we've got our beef, we've got our chicken, we have our shrimp, and we have our mushrooms. Now let's start glazing. All right, so we went through and basted these with the teriyaki. Now we're going to baste the shrimp and the mushrooms with it as well. I'm gonna turn this one down. We are on low on everything though right now, because I just want all this to get warm and start soaking up all this awesome sauce before I crank the heat up. We'll just keep going back and forth and doing that a couple of times. All right, we've been on for about 10 minutes now. I've turned them a couple times every few minutes and I've been basting them. I have both of these burners over here on more medium high, and then I have this burner over here that's cooking both of these on a low heat. Let's take a little look. I really like that they have these handles. I mean, I can really manipulate these very, very well. And then watch, I'm gonna turn right now, and we're just gonna turn over to the next flat spot. We do the same thing over here. It's flat spot. Just every couple minutes, just keep doing that. It's really easy to do. Tell me, do you have a better idea for how we can be basting these? Should I just pour it on and make a real mess? Or maybe put it in a spray bottle, since this is such a low viscosity marinade? What are your thoughts? All right, so what am I finding here? I'm finding, since these things are packed so full, they actually have not really shrunken down, not allowing more space in there. So I'm having an uneven cook. Problem number two is this is taking a lot longer than it would with conventional shish kebab skewers. That is kind of a bummer. You know, when it comes to shrimp, and let's say the basket's not completely full like this, I think that's probably the better way to do this because things will cook faster. But when you fill the basket like this, I think that's probably the wrong way of doing this. I think you should fill the basket about halfway. I was just trying to load in as much as I could. I thought a lot of the vegetables and everything would shrink down, but that has not proven to be true as of yet. So I really do feel if you have these baskets at about halfway full, you're gonna do a lot better. Time to baste again. Another thing, I actually think the cleanup on this is not going to be all that easy. I think it might be a little harder to do, but hey, if you're okay with sticking these in your dishwasher, I think that's probably the best way to do it. But what I would do first is probably let them soak in hot water and then just rinse them off as best as you can. Maybe take a light brush to them and brush them off, and then maybe throw them in the dishwasher. All right, so it's been like 45 minutes, I'm getting pretty close to an hour actually. It's a little over 45 minutes. I'm gonna pull this off. This has been on a very, very low heat, just kind of just sitting there, not a hot heat. This I have at a hot heat, and I have to pull these now, and I am going to empty out half of these bags into separate bowls, and I'm gonna try and cook them faster with them being halfway full. All right, the time has come to pull some of this stuff. I just basted these mushrooms, the shrimp off. Mushrooms. Got a little latch. All right. I'm gonna flip these. Let's try these out. So they also work as a torch. So, you know, there's that. You know, in the case of emergency, maybe you need a mobile flashlight that doesn't use batteries. There you go. It's a torch. It's like an adventure. All right, here we go. We're going to try one of these awesome looking little mushrooms, sauteed. Looks delicious. Let's give it a try. That is delicious. I love mushrooms. I love them sauteed. Butter, garlic, little seasoned salt. There you go. With our shrimp. Let's see how this bad boy turns out. Well, I tell you what. Those little bad boys are tasty. I really do like that. Baby portobello mushrooms. Ooh, butter and garlic. I mean, you can't beat that. These shrimp are delicious. All right, get back to cooking. All right, so I wanted to point this out. I've been using this marinade for years, and I've never seen it do what this has been doing on here. So it just keeps catching on fire on these baskets, which isn't that big of a deal. You just keep spinning it. It is all pretty messy. So, okay, so get this. These are redeeming themselves again. I did something a little different. I threw some chicken in a olive oil and a chipotle marinade that I whipped up, and they were in there for about 15 minutes as I was cooking the other stuff. And I have these baskets filled right about halfway. And halfway, they work really, really good. I mean, they do. They actually work really good. Halfway, you're able to kind of shift everything around in there a little bit, spin it around, shift it around, shake it back and forth, spin it around, turn it every couple of minutes. And like this, they work good. So as I was imagining, I had overfilled them too much, trying to do too much. So what I recommend is really, if you're going to do something like this and you want to use maybe smaller pieces that you're going to be cooking, instead of, skewering them, this actually works out really good. I just think what you need to do, if you have more than just a couple of people, I'm a family of 4, and over here right now, we've got 6 people over here I'm feeding. And so I think you should at least have as many baskets as I have, which is 4 baskets. It's 2 sets. So it's a small one and a large one, and a small one and a large one. If you do it that way, and you do them half at a time, they'll cook quicker, it'll cook more efficient, and then these things are working the right way. So I was just using them the wrong way to begin with, and I apologize to Inventive Fusion for that. But hey, I'm just figuring this out. So that's what this is about. So it's kind of like an experiment. So here we go. And seems to be working good now. Depending on what you're using in here, I really do think you need to marinate whatever it is first, and then throw it in there. That way you don't have to sauce everything up and get everything really, really nasty. Because I did it in reverse. I did not marinate the other batch originally, and I figured I'd just apply the sauce on there, and that just got really messy. It's going to be really hard to clean that. I know that for sure. But doing it the way I just did it this batch, that's completely different. I actually think that these are pretty cool now. So good job, Inventive Fusion. Chicken's almost done. On to the steak in a moment. All right, time to pull it. Little burnt pieces are from the last batch stuck to the inside of these things. Works pretty good when you do it the right way. And maybe there was instructions. I'm not sure. I did not read. I just went with it. But I tell you what, worked out pretty good. So halfway full, a lot better. Works a lot better. Steak time. The steak is on. It's been on for just a couple minutes. Time to flip. Shake and flip. They're on medium. I'm gonna turn them to high. A couple minutes on each side. Close the lid, flip them. All right, so with these little steak bites, I went through and I put a rub on them, and they sat in that rub for about 20 minutes. It's a very salty rub, so it brought out a lot of the moisture from the meat and everything, and kind of was doing a quick little marinade. So yet again, I really feel you need to marinate whatever you're putting in there ahead of time, and then put them into the baskets. Try not to sauce, because it just gets messy, and it just doesn't really work really good. So that's my personal experience. If you have a different experience with that, please let me know. I think it's time to pull these bad boys. Really works pretty good when those baskets aren't full. Let's pull it. Basket number 1, hot off the grill. For our steak bites. Basket number 2, hot off the grill. Basket number 3, wasn't much in there. And basket number 4. All right. There we go. Let's try a steak bite. It really works good as a torch. I do like this idea. I feel like Indiana Jones or something. All right, let's try one of these tasty looking little steak bites there. See if we can get that focusing for you. That is delicious. That is Spade Ale seasoning. It is amazing. Get the steak seasoning. You will not be disappointed. It's got a little bit of heat to it, but nice and salty, perfect for any steak. Let's talk about it. How do I feel about these guys? Well, at first I was not impressed, but that's because I was ignorant and I probably didn't read the instructions. I just went with it. I have a lot of family to feed, and so I figured I would pack them full, which is completely the wrong way to do it, as we found out. But these do good when they're halfway full and when you put already marinated stuff in there. I think they'll be a lot cleaner than what we just did. That teriyaki sauce gets real sticky. Even though it's a thin viscosity, it gets real sticky once it gets heated up. So I think a good marinade on the meat you're putting in there, throw it in there, halfway full. Guess what? They work really good. When you use them the right way, they work good. Would I recommend this product? I would recommend this product because I think the ability of being able to use little tiny pieces of meat instead of big giant pieces you have to skewer, you can throw them in the basket. It worked great for the mushrooms. It worked great with the shrimp. So these are a handy little tool to have in your barbecue kit for sure. And I will be using this more in the future now that I know how to use them the right way. But hey, that's part of the game. You live and learn. And the only way you learn is by messing up. So if you found any value out of this video at all, please do me a huge favor, like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me produce more valuable, flavorful content like this for you in the future. And until next time, live a life of flavor.